Thank you very much for staying with us. This is Smart 25 Business. My name is Anthony. I am your host. Now, of course, we are having an event currently happening at the law school. We've just had a few comments from the Blockchain Association of Uganda chairman, Mr. Kwame Rugunda. And of course, right now, standing by at the MARKERT University Law School is Martha, our reporter, and definitely she's going to be talking to Mr. Mugisha Barry, who is a legal advisor of Skill Haven. Martha, tell us what's happening and what Mr. Barry has for us there.
Thank you very much, Anthony. And here with me, I'm with Mr. Barry Mugisha. He's a co-founder of Skill Haven and also is on the legal team of Skill Haven. Thank you very much. Yeah, Mr. Barry, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Martha. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that Smart 24 has honored us with their presence to live stream and cover today's inaugural event, which is the inauguration of the Blockchain and the Law Masterclass at MARKERT University School of Law. This event is a great milestone because we are trying to bridge the information gap about blockchain technologies and also the intersection of blockchain technology and the law as we try to shape the future generations of this country, especially when it comes to setting the pace for innovation in the blockchain space and also making sure that we have a team of emerging lawyers with specific and special understanding of the blockchain environment to nurture a conducive legal framework that will be able to sustain growth, development and innovation in this space. Thank you very much.
So to what extent is cryptocurrency reaching Uganda?
The cryptocurrency adoption in the country is still at a relatively low level, but it is definitely growing very greatly. Over the last few years, the numbers have exponentially grown, and right now we are going to experience a massive adoption. The more we do outreaches like this, the more we make sure we bridge the information gap in the blockchain space, because information has been very critical when it comes to adoption of blockchain and all other use cases. So we're trying to bridge that information gap by making sure that a great number of people get the interaction with accurate and authentic information about blockchain and cryptocurrencies.
As the class was going on, did you see any improvement in the terms of people understanding the law and blockchain?
Yes, so it is very important for me to note that the blockchain and the law masterclass is a partnership between Skill Haven and CLET, Center for Law and Emerging Technologies, also in conjunction with MARKERT School of Law. So today's discussion was very critical, setting the pace for understanding all the components and the features and the characteristics of blockchain. The keynote we had from the chairperson of the Blockchain Association of Uganda was very key, and I think it has set a very great pace for new people who are just getting into this space for the first time to have a great starting point, at least from the point of research, from the point of interaction and understanding all the basics. So it is going to be much better. Today has been setting the pace. We're opening the doors for everyone to understand what they are reading about and what they've been hearing about. Yeah.
So in future, do you expect Parliament or the government to put up a law for the blockchain and cryptocurrency regulation? Yeah,
sure. Like I have said on several occasions, innovation precedes the law, meaning innovation goes ahead of the law. So before the legislature or the parliament in any country goes down to draft and set the laws for any industry or any field, they must have that field operating. So they cannot regulate what is not in existence or what is not in widespread and adoption. So definitely there will be a time, and that will be very soon, when the country will be setting a comprehensive law or bill being passed in parliament that is regulating the blockchain space and business. And that is why it is very important that CLET and Skill Haven are at MARKERT University School of Law to make sure that we have a future generation of lawyers who have a very firm grasp of this technology and how it can impact development and business in this country.
So you realize it's not only MARKERT with a School of Law. Do you also have other universities you're going to interact with, or not only universities, other places you're going to interact with?
Yeah, sure. It is important that we have a starting point, and that is why we decided to start from School of Law, MARKERT University. So we had to first come back home from a place that nurtured us and make sure we start our roots from a familiar place. But definitely this is going to be a program spread out in different institutions to make sure that even beyond the lawyers, we're going to have people in the economics field and business having the understanding of this environment, because blockchain is much bigger than just the exchange and transfer of money, commonly known as cryptocurrency. It's an industry that encompasses different fields and industries. So we're going to make sure that we have a national widespread interaction with everyone in different departments and field to make sure that we are all at the same pace as the country. But again, we had to have a starting point, which is MARKERT School of Law.
So as Skill Haven, which other plans do you have in terms of regulating the blockchain and then also cryptocurrency?
Okay, so Skill Haven is a member organization of the Blockchain Association of Uganda. We work very closely with other institutions and the legal team of the Blockchain Association of Uganda. It is not solely a Skill Haven effort. It is a collective effort for all the members and organizations under the umbrella of the Blockchain Association of Uganda. So the starting point has been engaging with different authorities and lawmakers and different bodies in the country to make sure that we initiate the conversation about regulation of blockchain and cryptocurrency, also known as the digital assets. So before we get to the point of this bill being passed or even being tabled in Parliament, the key players in the industry like the CMA, FIA, the Bank of Uganda, and all other bodies must be part of the conversation that is going to streamline what will need to be regulated first and also how the people are using that technology. So that is what we are right now.
So give us your final review of everything in terms of relating the blockchain and the law.
So my final remarks about blockchain and the law is that this is an emerging field and this is a much needed regulation or legal framework for an emerging industry. A comparison has been made with the emerging of the internet. When the internet was still in its nascent stages, one could not think about what would be regulated about the internet. But right now we have numerous internet-specific laws. Same thing with the blockchain industry. As the industry grows, because right now it's only 12 years, so as the industry grows, there will be much need for specific regulation to make sure that we are working within known legal framework to make sure that we foster innovation and growth in the country. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Barry Mugisha. We're still having more lessons and we're also having more interactions with the Law Society of MARKERT University and the Blockchain Association of Uganda. We are having a lecture or an overview of everything in terms of relating the law, cryptocurrency, and blockchain. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martha, and of course, thank you very much, Martha, for, of course, that interview with Mr. Barry, who is the legal advisor at Skill Haven. That event is still going down at MARKERT University, and you can catch up with the latest on our website as well as on our different other social media platforms. Now, of course, today, joining me on set is Counsel Luis Chizito. Counsel Luis has been here, and we have, of course, a discussion on blockchain as well. Now, ZABU is the new initiative, of course, that under Altex East Africa is bringing you the treasury bond market closer to yourself. And under this initiative, you can be able to buy bonds, you can be able to buy different instruments across East Africa by using your phone and with accessibility now to mobile money by simply dialing *292#. You can also learn more about the products via this platform, and of course Altex East Africa is making it very, very easy for you actually there to access these markets. The markets at Altex open at 15 minutes past 8 a.m. and close at 15 minutes past 3 p.m. East African Standard Time. Remember, you can invest with as low as 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Altex East Africa doing something new. Now, as I said, of course, we have Counsel Luis Chizito, and he's been here before on the show. And today we are talking different things. But starting off, Counsel Luis, how have you been, by the way?
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, I think I was last year 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, of course the economy has been squeezing all of us.
Yes.
So there's nothing new about
Except for lawyers.
No, but the lawyers have also been, especially the young lawyers are the ones who suffer more in a bad
Yes.
economy. So yeah, the economy has been fairly bad, squeezing all of us equally. And yeah.
Let's talk about blockchain. You've seen young men, they are very enthusiastic, trying to actually educate their fellow young men on blockchain and also incorporating the law and blockchain. How far do you think we are going to embrace this as Uganda?
Okay, right now, the blockchain technology and legal framework is not adequately developed. And of course, you don't blame the policymakers. It's a very new development. Kenya has taken a more proactive stance, because I was reading a week ago that they are trying to table the Capital Markets Authority Act to include registration of cryptocurrency exchanges. But I think for them they did it for reasons of generating tax revenue. In Kenya now, under the amendment, not the law yet, but the amendment law stipulates that the cryptocurrency exchange operating in Kenya, you have to register with the Capital Markets Authority of Kenya, and then you file certain documents that they will require from you, and then subsequently you pay taxes as capital gains. In Uganda, we haven't yet seen that development, but since there is a private members bill that was tabled recently to reform the Capital Markets Authority Act, maybe some of these things could be
By Honorable Nabeta.
Yeah, Honorable Nabeta tabled the private members law. Remember private members amendment bill to amend the Capital Markets Authority. So if some of these conversations that Barry is initiating, if they maybe go to Parliament and show cause why we should not go the Kenyan way or why we should deviate from but I don't agree with the Kenyan model, because it focuses more on taxing and squeezing money. It's not looking at the other areas of
financial inclusion.
Yeah, it's really looking at, because I think the motive behind the reason why I'm referencing Kenya is because they are next door neighbors who have tried to do something in the last 3-4 weeks. In Uganda, the only thing I'm seeing in the crypto space and the law is money laundering, and it's not specific to crypto assets. It's actually referencing virtual assets. Okay, virtual asset service provider, file returns with Financial Intelligence Authority. Finance has made a triumphant entry into the East African market. I saw they had an event this weekend. I think they just want to initiate. The law has not yet caught up, and I can't say it has. The law training at those schools, I'm seeing what they're doing, but I think it's off cuff. It's maybe even off the syllabus. But yeah, those are things that just shape people's careers. Things we do outside class end up shaping people's careers more than what you're shaping. So it's a good move. The awareness should keep going, and I think we're going into the right direction.
We are going to talk about briefly, but before we get into that discussion and before we go for our break, first give us a picture of what really it would be like if Uganda, for example, embraced blockchain technology. We understand it's not limited to cryptocurrency and all these other transactions. We can use it in our medical fields. We can use it in our education system. The chairman of Blockchain Uganda has also mentioned that we can use it in actually our elections to track, how elections are actually being carried out, to have a more secure election and stuff. So what do you think are those unexplored opportunities that blockchain technology can bring on board in Uganda?
The things I feel blockchain can revolutionize in this country are many, but using blockchain is going to really change the models for running this country. Is going to mandate some kind of fight. Some people will fight it. For instance, registering of land titles can easily be done on the tokenization of assets. Capital Markets Authority, in raising money, if licensed persons of the Capital Markets Authority can get an objection successfully to a security token offering. But Capital, I know a player who tried to get a no objection just to store crypto in his depository. Capital Markets Authority said we don't understand those things. So if the regulators, and the other day I saw that Bank of Uganda went to Nigeria to do. They were right now in the research phase of the CBDC, but they went there just to get a heads up. So there are very many things blockchain can revolutionize: tokenization of assets, land registry. But I think the technocrats in these institutions are not as scared, and they're afraid of change. The other day, I'm telling you, if you want to do an STO, and it's a security token offering on the blockchain for you to raise money for your projects on the blockchain and liquidity issues in the capital markets, you're going to get an objection from capital markets authority. They will tell you bluntly that they don't understand these things. So the cultural orientation, the perception,
Traditionalism.
exactly, it's going to curtail the much needed development and what thinking we need to embrace blockchain. So with them aside, even when you look at the land registry, you can do a lot. The real estate sector, organizing that sector on the blockchain, because blockchain has consensus. For you to replicate something on the blockchain, someone has to confirm it. You just can't come and you create your own node and you change things. The consensus mode on the blockchain can actually help a lot on record management. But I feel the political will is not here. I feel we are in a situation where the people in power will have to embrace a saying that nothing can beat an idea whose time has come. So if the time for blockchain is now, I think the policymakers may be left to catch up when it's a bit too late.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a very quick commercial break. You're watching Financial Markets. Remember to hit us up on our Twitter at Smart24 TV. We are live as well on GoTV channel 394 and DSTV channel 372. Our YouTube live stream is at Smart24 TV Live. Now, Council Chizito just mentioned of course, Bank of Uganda officials who recently traveled to Nigeria to do a benchmarking on the central bank digital currency. Now, Nigeria has successfully launched, actually last year, on the 25th of October 2021, an electronic currency or a central bank digital currency, famously known as the e-Naira. With thousands of Nigerians embracing it, the government felt like actually Uganda should be heading towards the same direction, and they went actually to do a study tour on the same. We're going to talk about this and more after this short commercial break. Stay with us, we'll be right back.